dice out. Now, game! Greetings, dear listeners, and welcome to our podcast. I am a.k.a, your DM, and the players with me tonight are Dia.
Dia is here. Yeah, I know, it's lame.
No, it works. Jan.
No one cared about me until my sex tape got leaked.
No. Well, if it's any consolation, they still don't.
Wow.
Okay. Kara.
Hello. Tea. Grab it.
And Richard.
Hello.
So, peeps, it's been a while since we heard each other, and a lot of stuff happened, and I got really confused about everything, and now I don't know what was real and what was not. So, could any of you tell me what happened?
Well, you see, we fought Tiamat. Okay, no.
Wait a second. I don't think that's what happened.
No, you're right. Actually, we didn't fight Tiamat. I persuaded her not to attack, and then I seduced her.
I don't think that's true.
I feel like that's quite lazy retelling.
Fair.
Yeah, go into detail.
Take away AD.
I wrote an epic poem for her, and it just made her swoon.
Why don't you tell us the poem?
Oh, well...
That's a special. We'll recount it at a later date. You've got to pay $30 for it. $30 for the deity seducing poem.
Yeah, well, little do they know that this actually is a thing that happened, so...
Yeah. For only $5 a month, you too can be privy to this wonderful exchange that happened at one time.
Now that ramble has drawn to a close, let's get back on with the actual happenings of the last game. So, Darren wakes up in a pile of hay with Maya, the stable girl. He struggles to find his clothes and returns to the tavern, minus a sock and shoes. Dawn wakes up with the halfling Nella and returns looking immaculate. They arrive at about the same time to find Decla drinking tea and Kasni waiting for breakfast. Dawn worked out the activation word for Kasni's obsidian raven, which turned out to be Corvid, because, that's so secret. And we sent the Boneyard a message about our plan to rob Daniel on the way back from the bank. We headed over to Daniel's house and saw a painting in a pile of wedding gifts. The painting was of two men, one of whom looked suspiciously like Daniel, perhaps his father, and a jug that Kasni recognised as having been owned by the Maradanda. From this, we have decided that either Daniel is Maradanda or someone in his family is Maradanda. He had completely forgotten our deal, but agreed to it again. Kasni steals a bracelet, but the rest of the party see. Then we have a second breakfast with Daniel, except Decla, who is fasting. Daniel provides us with horses, and we ride to Mosgara, where we enter a tavern to see a familiar dwarf.
GM, what time is it? Is it evening?
Evening, yeah, a bit after sunset.
Okay.
This isn't actually our destination, is it? Are we going on to another town after this?
No, we're staying here the night and then...
Yes, because it's a 2-day journey. I thought it was a 2-day journey.
So yeah, you walk into the tavern, you see a familiar dwarf. He's got several empty mugs in front of him. And he looks at you, and his eyes widen, and he starts swearing in Dwarvish, and he just takes off, tries to run, but as he steps off the bar stool, his legs give out, and he falls flat on his face.
Can Dawn make an insight check to see if he was scared, angry, surprised, or panicky?
Roll.
14.
14. He seems very scared and panicky.
Okay.
And as he falls to the floor, a bunch of butterflies and flower petals burst out from around him and fill the entire tavern. So you can't really see what's going on, but...
Can I make an Arcana roll to see if this is a spell? Or what effect it is?
Roll.
Yeah, this sounds like a distraction technique to me. Kasni knows all about distraction techniques.
21.
21. You don't think it's a spell, but you've read about some people who had this happen to them. It's definitely a magic thing.
Okay.
Darren could technically roll for it.
I'm just gonna roll an Arcana. And that's a 20.
Overuse of lavender dust makes people disappear.
I burst into butterflies?
Yeah. You remember when you were younger, that happened to you once. When you were like, I don't know, 15? You tripped and fell while running down the street and a bunch of butterflies burst out from the air around you.
Okay, as soon as I see that happening, I yell out, "That happened to me once!" Is that all I know? Like, how did I get back to...
Can we still see him?
Yeah.
So we can still see him through the puff.
Yeah. Like, it's hard to see, but it's not, like, invisible, you know?
Dawn immediately moves over to him.
And he tries to pick himself up, but yeah, he's...
So Dawn will help him up, taking hold of his upper arm and going, There, that was a nasty fall, wasn't it? Come on up, you get, Herman. Sort of pats him down. He goes, where were you keeping all those things?
What thing? No, wait. And he tries to pat you away and tries to run. I can't be here. I can't. He's gonna kill me.
Dawn just slaps him a few times as he's panicking and going, calm down. Who is going to hurt you? Who's going to kill you?
Roll me persuasion, but with strength.
Persuasion, but with strength.
Yeah, because you're slapping him in the face.
16 plus my strength bonus is 0, so.
But you have a plus for persuasion?
My persuasion is plus 4.
2, wouldn't it? Your proficiency.
Plus 2, yeah, plus 2 because my charisma's 2. So, 18?
So 18, and he comes out, he kind of stops trying to run away, and he's like, well, Daniel, he's gonna kill me because he's, all the stuff he got, all the stuff got stolen. And Daniel just walks to the bar and orders something, he doesn't give two shits.
Sort of gesture and goes, see, he doesn't seem to mind too much.
Yeah, and Daniel just yells to the bartender like, hey, you fucker, give me what you got the best. And the bartender just rolls his eyes and...
How did you lose it? Seems somewhat careless for you.
Like I said, I told you, man, it got stolen.
By who?
Well, I don't know, they had this weird scarves around their mouths that looked like skulls.
How very... gauche. Well, as Daniel doesn't seem to mind, it's best you stay here with us. Be ashamed for you to run off in such a condition. You obviously can't. And Dawn sort of gestures to the petals and butterflies, going, contain yourself.
He looks at the flowers and the butterflies and says, oh shit, not again. Shit, this wasn't on Daniel, I haven't, no. And Daniel just looks at him. It's like, hey, aren't you that fucker that does deliveries for me? And you see Herman gets a little bit scared again. But Daniel gets his drink and just shrugs and doesn't really give a fuck.
I whisper into Herman's ears, maybe you just don't talk to Daniel. The less we talk about any of this, I think the better it is for everyone involved.
Okay, roll me persuasion.
That is a 16 plus 6 makes 22.
Oh, yeah. And he kind of nods, like, seriously. He's like, you know what, boy? I think you're right. See, you and I, we see eye to eye, you know? Because you and I, we're the same, you know? And I trust you.
Well, we're not the same, but let's not...
Yeah, no.
Let's not go...
We are.
...ahead of ourselves. Well, no.
No, we are.
Well, I'm younger, more handsome version of you.
Well, I wouldn't go with more handsome, but...
I mean, I would, but, that's not your fault, I mean.
Why, Darren, so gracious to allow the man's failings. As you two seem to be getting along so well, I'll be going. Do take care of each other. And I sort of shuffle them both towards the bar, and then go off to Dekla and Kasny.
Where are Dekla and Kasny hanging out?
I'm kind of chatting with Daniel, kind of making really banal small talk in an attempt to kind of distract him. Dekla is not very good at being deceptive or anything, but... So, this is your first time making this trip?
Oh, fuck no. Fuck knows, those fuckers want me out there once a year, at least.
Ah, right, so you've done this before.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Casty, help.
Kasny walks up to Daniel, puts an arm around him and goes,
Yeah, don't touch me.
I was expecting something like that, honestly, but yeah.
Such an asshole. I hate him so much.
We know he's an asshole, that's why we're gonna kill him! Kazi promptly removes said arm. And, so, what's the best drink in this place?
And Daniel's like, this cheap plonk, apparently.
Take it, it's not very good.
And you just hear the bartender, like, sigh. Like, exasperated sigh, but, doesn't really comment.
Well, at least it's not expensive, awful stuff.
At least it's not floor cleaner.
True.
Hey, that floor cleaner got us this gig.
Yeah,
Don't knock it.
You're not wrong.
You hear from the other side of the bar, don't knock the floor cleaner.
I will take Kasny's drink order and go up to the bar.
Okay.
Once Dawn is at the bar, he's going to capture the attention of the barkeeper. And making sure that Daniel is occupied with Kasny and Dekla. Dawn will order the drinks, and as the barkeeper's, leaning in to get the order, he goes, so, this guy, he's been here before, I'm guessing.
Yeah, every once a year or so. I mean, even more than that occasionally, but ugh. I mean, he pays, so,
Seems, does he pay more than a country baron would?
What do you mean?
I'm just trying to get a sense of the man, that's all.
Doesn't always ask for change, which is nice, so I guess...
Money to burn. You reckon he's connected?
Oh, definitely.
Dawn sort of turns and studies Daniel before going back to the barkeep and going, him? Maybe people he's related to, but him?
And the barkeep just shrugs.
Fair.
While Dawn's doing this, Kasny will attempt to try and engage Daniel in a distracting conversation.
That was assumed, yeah.
Dawn also asks, he nods over at Herman and goes, does he come around often as well?
A bit more often. I mean, he's a cart driver, he makes a stop here whenever he passes through. Although, I don't know, yesterday he came in without a cart and he's been drinking through my supplies. So I'm guessing something happened.
Maybe he lost the cart.
Possibly.
They come in here with anyone else ever?
No, just him.
Both of them.
Who?
So does Daniel come here alone? Does Herman come here alone?
Herman usually comes alone, but Daniel usually has a retinue of people with him. So I'm guessing in this case that would be you?
We're a hired retinue.
I mean, they usually are. It's never the same people.
Fighting types, or...?
Mostly.
Okay. Anyway, how about that drink, barkeep?
Yeah, no problem. And he gives you the drink.
Dawn pays him and wanders back over and gives Kasny his drink with his tail.
Oh, goodness.
Just as he's walking by, he doesn't even look at Kasny, he just...
Yeah, Kasny, roll to keep cool. Oh wait, this isn't Monster Hearts.
I was going to say, it wouldn't be an unreasonable thing to ask, though, to be fair.
Yeah, roll a willpower. Will save.
Will's wisdom, yeah.
Wisdom save, yes.
Right. Wisdom saving throw. Okay, that's good, because that's 14.
That's 14. Yeah, you get to decide how turned on you are.
Kasny just about holding it together. He takes the drink, and he just sort of lightly brushes the edge of the tail with his little finger when he gets the drink. Just sort of like...
Dawn flicks the very tip of his tail as you do that.
Just the tip.
Just the tip.
And then goes and sits down, even.
Oh, this is cruel. You don't know. You don't. Dawn doesn't know that about Kasny.
No, he doesn't.
But Richard does.
Yeah. Okay. Kasny is now slightly flustered and has lost track of whatever conversation he might have been having.
I'm gonna roll to see if Dawn notices that.
Yeah, and Daniel's like, you okay, man?
Oh, yeah, sorry, I was just distracted for a moment. You're right, this, it's not the best, this drink, is it?
Nah.
My perception was a 19.
Yeah, what were you perceiving?
If Kasny got flustered.
I mean, with a 19, it wouldn't be unreasonable to say you did notice.
Okay, that's fine.
You notice him having a reaction, whether or not it's flustered, it's, you can guess.
Dawn's going to assume that it is, because, I mean, who wouldn't?
Exactly.
And then for the rest of the night, unless anything intervenes, he will keep watch on Herman and Daniel.
I would want to talk to Herman in more detail.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to buy him a drink, or I assume he has a drink, but I want to buy him another one and another one.
He doesn't currently have a drink. Like, he's had plenty, but he doesn't currently.
I buy him more.
Okay.
Because that's always a good strategy. Getting people drunk it's how we got to this point so far. And I'm gonna say to him, listen, I know all about your business.
I mean, I would assume so. I mean, we're both sorcerers. You should know how these things go.
Well, I'm not talking so much about the sorcerer stuff. I'm talking about the lavender dust.
What?
The lavender dust.
Right. Shit. Yeah.
You don't need to pretend. We know everything.
Yeah. And he just sort of sips his mug.
What I want to know from you is, how do I get in? But I do want to roll deception. So just to reassure all the other... I mean, obviously you don't know this because you're not in the scene, but I am, yeah.
Yeah, roll deception, okay.
Using deception. Ooh, fucking net 20.
Nah.
Wow.
Smooth as butter.
+6. I mean, not that it matters, but...
And he looks at you and he's like, so, you heard about this stuff, huh?
Heard about it. Listen, where I come from, I lived that life.
Yeah, no, I believe you. So, you know all the benefits of it.
Of course.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I'm just gonna assume that my net 20 deception roll kind of lets me...
Yeah, it lets you fib. Also, he's drunk, so, he's not gonna question you. Yeah, no, where you from? Oh, wait. Maybe Zelena.
He would probably know this, because that's where he picked me up.
Did you grow up there?
Spent my whole life there.
No, I didn't even know there was a scene there.
Oh, believe me, there was a scene.
I usually just passed through,
I was one of the big names in that scene.
Really?
But now I'm looking for greener pastures.
Really? So you are with the cuss.
I had my own independent thing going on.
So why do you have the ring?
Why do I have the what?
Why do you have the ring?
This is me, Jan, asking why I do?
Yeah, you have a copper ring, don't you remember?
Right. Where did I get that again?
Backstory? I don't know.
Oh, shit! Yes! Oh! I've had that since, forever, right? Shit, I need to make stuff up now. Okay, let me get back to the moment where he asked me about the ring.
Yeah, why do you have the ring? If you're not with them, are they letting people split now? What the fuck? They kicked me out when I tried to split.
Well, I mean, the same thing happened to me, but I was a bit smarter about it.
Right.
Took off with a lot of money, but kind of lost it all gambling.
And the ring?
The ring? Well, of course, took that as a souvenir.
Well, damn son, you're lucky they didn't track you down yet.
I guess I'm just good like that.
Like, impersonating a member of the cuz, that's one of the highest offenses, you should know that.
Believe me, I do.
Hardcore.
I survived this long, and I think you can see that I know what I'm doing, so that's why I want back in, and I think I'm speaking to the right person.
Hardcore, I like it, and he raises a glass towards you.
Yeah, I toast him.
Yeah, and he downs the rest of his glass and slams it on the table.
I surprisingly don't, I only pretend like I do. Because I feel like I'm way in over my head right now. I want to keep a clear head.
Yeah, I'm gonna have you roll a wisdom save for that. To see if you...
Okay. Oh, yeah.
If you just pretend.
That's a straight 10.
Straight 10. It's been a while and it's a real stressful situation.
I guess I want to drink nothing. I want to pretend that I drank something, but now I drink half of it.
Okay.
For now.
Mm-hmm. It's like some bad wine, I mean bad, as in...
My favorite, bad wine.
As in doesn't taste very well. Like the kind that IRL you would mix with something to mask the taste.
Well, I don't drink it for the taste.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know, is he telling me any more, or... Because my tactic is very much to not talk a lot and let him do the talking, because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Well, I mean, I haven't been with them since they kicked me out, so I don't know, if you want back in, maybe you should talk to someone else, but in any case, don't let Daniel know you're with them, okay? He'll just use you.
Of course not. I burnt a lot of bridges, so I'm afraid of talking to the wrong people, you know.
Yeah, good.
If you stay alive as long as I did and make it out on top, you have to
Oh, good.
have to be careful who you trust, and I feel like I can trust you. I know that I can't trust Daniel, so that's why I'm talking to you.
And yet you're still wearing this ring.
Well, I just found out about the ring just now. Like, I had no clue. I guess I just got incredibly lucky.
Yeah, you rolled a fucking nat 20. Like, I'm sorry, son, I can't help you on this one directly.
Well, at the very least, you can give me a name, right? Tell me who I should talk to.
Like, fuck, I don't know. I've been out of this game for like, I don't know, almost 60 years, so they're probably still down on copper if you. But like, I don't know if they have any branches on the continent.
Well, if you come up with something, let me know.
Yeah, will do. Okay, anything else? Anything else anyone wants to do?
Where is Dawn in relation to everyone else at the moment?
Close by with his back to something. Just, like, looking around and listening and watching.
Yeah, are you particularly near Daniel or Herman?
I'm probably closer to Daniel than Herman, as I'll be listening and watching Daniel.
And the flower petals have settled down by now and disappeared.
Yeah, Kasni will walk over to Dawn and sort of whisper quite quietly, do you think it's worth asking Herman about Christina? Did we know whether he knew he was transporting her or not?
I don't know. It's possible, but he seems genuinely worried that the shipment has gone. So I don't think he knew.
I mean, there was other barrels on there. There wasn't just one.
Sure, but why stage it as a robbery like that and let it get that messy if it's only one person?
Because the other ones were filled with lavender dust. Oh no, they were empty, weren't they? It was a return trip. Yeah. Fair. That's a good point. He does seem to be overly concerned with it, considering the whole thing was empty. But then, you know, Daniel's an arsehole, so he'll probably be pissed off that the cart's gone. Or the barrels, the empty barrels.
Dawn sort of nods over at Herman where he's being engaged by Darren and goes, take a shot, it can't hurt. More information the better, as far as I'm concerned.
So Kasni will go over to Herman and... Is Darren still there?
Probably, yeah. Actually, before you engage him, can I ask Chacha real quick, what was the name of the group that he told me about?
Maradanda.
No, it's something else.
Yeah.
The cuss.
The Cuss. Have we heard of them before?
I don't know, did you?
I don't think so. How do I spell them?
If you do, you know too much.
Or a better question is, has Darren heard of them before, considering he lived on the seedy underbelly of the city for a while?
Roll me history.
That's a 13 plus 1, 14.
No.
Okay, how do I write them? How do I spell them?
C-U-S-S.
Oh, cuss.
Oh, so like the Cuss.
Yeah.
They're called the fucking Cash.
So, new prime objective of Darren, find out everything he can about the Cuss. But of course he can't really do that with Herman, because then he would realize that Darren has no idea what he's talking about. Alright, yeah, I just wanted to clear that up.
Okay, Kasni approaches.
I'll say to Herman. So, I don't know if you remember me, but you gave me a ride to Vislena at some point.
He looks at you sideways and like, oh yeah, Lucia's Day like 2 years ago.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was in, I was there at the wedding. I saw you there, but I don't think I got a chance to talk to you, although honestly, I don't remember much about that night. I had a lot to drink.
Yeah, I was kind of busy at the wedding. He just laughs into his mug.
Nice. I was just wondering, and I dropped my voice even lower. Now, does Daniel, know that you had extra cargo on the way out of town? Because I don't think he did.
No, wait, weren't you one of the people who had me take another barrel? Yeah, the two of you. Wait,
this was worth it. This is definitely worth it.
all of you were there. What was in that barrel? You told me it was just an empty barrel. What was in that barrel? Fuck, I'm not...
Best you not ask about that. Better to not know, honestly. It's perhaps information that would displease Daniel.
He looks there and says, you better did not involve me in your business without me knowing, boy.
I certainly did no such thing.
It doesn't matter anyhow, because...
Fuck.
From the looks of it, some weird bandits seem to have taken off with it, so it doesn't really matter, but needless to say, if Daniel ever finds out, you could be in a little bit of trouble. And when I say a little bit of trouble, I mean he's probably going to want to kill you.
Yeah, when I told you to not talk to Daniel, I was being very serious about that. I mean, it's your neck, but I wouldn't if I were you.
Roll me intimidation, because...
Shit. I wish I was there.
That's just an 8.
You can take advantage because Casney's helping you.
Well, I got an 8, so I don't know how far that will get us.
I mean, honestly, what I've had to say should have scared him enough. Regardless of how intimidating it was.
Okay, either of you can roll with advantage. But, just one of you, so...
Okay, yeah, let me just roll again. That's not much better, that's an 11.
I would plead the case that he's already scared of Daniel.
Yes. Kind of looks between the two of you, and looks at Daniel at the bar, and he looks between the two of you, and he says, You won't tell him, you won't tell him, right?
Of course not.
I mean, I'm not planning to.
It's in our best interest too.
It's not something he will be really angry.
Exactly.
There's no reason for him to know.
You lost a few empty barrels, He's gonna get over that. He's probably gonna forget. They're just barrels.
They weren't empty. I was transporting wine.
Wait, what? I thought they were empty. We thought they were empty, right, Checha?
I don't know what you thought.
We knew they didn't have lavender dust in them. What did the boneyard tell us?
I don't know what exactly they told you. But if you remember, the ground was a bit wet.
It was, wasn't it? Who was taking wine away from the wedding? There's no wine in the town at the moment. Damn.
Yeah, there was 6 barrels put aside to be delivered elsewhere next morning. Because even though the wedding is on, the business is still running.
I mean, I suppose so. Well, yeah, no, he might be quite cross about that. I think it might be in your best interest to keep yourself scarce. We're just passing through. Daniel will be out of this town by before midday tomorrow. So just lie low, perhaps.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that.
I pat him on the shoulder, and then I just turn around and head back to Dawn.
Yeah, and as you're patting Herman on the shoulder, another person walks into the tavern. It's like a human, middle-aged, just sort of steps in, sees there's a few people there, looks around, sees Herman, walks directly to him.
Kasny stops.
Yeah, and he's like, Herman, so good to see you. Like, hey, how you doing, you old fart? And they kind of laugh, both of them, and it's like, so what brings you to town? And the man is like, oh, I'm so happy to see a familiar face. You see, it's... something's happened to my son. I don't even know what. Do you think you could help? And Adam's like, yeah, I don't think... I don't know, maybe. Come on, sit, have a drink. And Darren, they're sitting at your table, because presumably you're still sitting with Herman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Herman's like, hey, kid, this is my old friend, Abram.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, nice to meet you as well. I see you're Herman's friend.
I guess you could say that.
It's great to see some travelers here. It's really lucky that you're here. I don't usually... It's not often people stop on their way here. It's a shithole, really.
Well, we needed some rest. And
yes.
I think it's quite cozy.
But tell me, traveler, do you think... Could I possibly ask your help? I don't know what else to do. I don't know where else to turn. And Herman's like, yeah, sure, man. What's happened? Tell me. We're here for you. Yeah, and he says, I don't know, something happened to my son. You know Doman, right? Oh yeah, how's the little fella? Well, he came stumbling out of the woods and he collapsed and we haven't been able to wake him for the last 3 days and... Oh no! Why? What? Oh, come on! Have a drink. And Herman waves to the bartender and waves over another drink. And the bartender brings over another drink. I came out here so I could find passage to the city, so I could find a cleric or something. Just to see what happened to him, maybe help him.
Well, I know a cleric.
You do?
As a matter of fact, I do.
Kasny deliberately didn't move too far away, and he spins around on his heel and is like, "Hello."
Did somebody call for a cleric?
Oh, right. Forgot that Kasny's a cleric too. Yeah, I meant my good friend George.
Who were you gonna sink as a cleric?
George.
Who?
George. He's sitting right next to me. He's been sitting there the whole time.
Ah, yes, my pocket cleric that I take everywhere with me.
I just met him.
I think you've had too much wine. It's very convenient.
Darren has an imaginary friend called George. Okay.
Oh, he was just sitting in the bar. He told me his name was George and that he was a cleric. I met him like 5 minutes ago.
Kasny gives Darren a really weird look, like, "What the hell, man? What's wrong with you?"
Sorry, George. You're not needed right now. He walks off sadly, very sadly.
What is in that really awful moonshine you've been drinking? Is it the floor cleaner?
No, it's just like a dude. Just a regular looking dude. He's looking very sad now.
Kasny says, I apologise for my friend here. He, I think he's had a bit too much floor cleaner.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with George.
The man just looks at Darren, confused, and...
So everyone is just ignoring that there's a man sitting next to me. He's now sadly walking away. Okay. I mean, that's kind of rude, to be honest. I think that's pretty rude, but...
Darren, how much have you had to drink today?
The man just looks at you kind of confused, and Herman is looking at George, just kind of muttering something about George in Dwarven.
Perfect.
Do any of you speak Dwarven, actually? I don't think so.
I do.
You do?
I do, yeah.
Oh, perfect. It's just a line of swear words. Like, fucking George, that fucker. How dares he?
Okay, is there actually a George now?
No, Cassie, you definitely don't see anyone. Herman seems to see someone.
Okay.
I mean...
Whether or not Darren sees someone is up to Darren.
I mean, Darren and Herman have been drinking this stuff, so...
Kasny is very confused, but he decides to wave it off and ignore them and turn to the only person who doesn't seem to be seeing imaginary Georges. What did you need a cleric for?
Yes, you see, my name is Abram Limage. I have a farm a bit outside of the town, and, well, a few days ago my son came stumbling out of the woods, and he just collapsed, and we haven't been able to wake him since. I don't know what happened or how to heal him, or... I was hoping I could get to the city to get some actual help.
I mean, I could see what I could do.
That would be most helpful of you, please. We don't have much money, but if you can help...
Kasny puts his thumb down the neck of his shirt and pulls out a amulet of Saint Teresa.
Okay.
I follow the man out. In fact, I'm going to go and extract Decla from Daniel. Everyone else can help themselves, but I'm going to go and. Decla, dear, this gentleman here has a son who needs some help. I was wondering if you wouldn't mind accompanying me.
Oh, sure.
Just because I became quite aware during this that I had left Decla trying to make weird small talk with Daniel, and that's going to be both hard work and completely not Decla's wheelhouse. So
yeah, she practically expired.
Yeah, like you find them both just kind of staring ahead, like each holding their own cup.
Decla's shoulders all the way up.
Yep. Daniel's mug has hard liquor, Decla's mug has like tea.
Yep, exactly. I mean, you can't really get two more different people.
Yeah, so I thought I'd extract her The other two can come or not come as they so desire, but I feel like Declan would probably be much better off in a situation like this. Because okay, we don't know. I don't know that she's got a level in cleric, but
yeah. I mean, as you take her, she just kind of whispers thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, I have seen her. I've seen her, and I know that I know that she's a religious person, and this might be it might be helpful. And at least I've extracted her from awful Daniel. So
yeah, from the terrible fate of having to talk to an asshole criminal.
yes, so I
who is also a noble.
He's not a noble.
Huh? Oh no. Well, he's rich.
Yeah, he's rich. He's not a noble.
Yeah, I take Declan by the elbow and sort of lead her out sort of shuffle her out quite quickly. And I look at the other two, but like, I'm not going to specifically invite them unless they want to come.
Up to you. So wait, where do you go? Where do you take Declan?
Towards the door, towards the man who needs help, and the door.
I mean, he's still sitting with Herman and Darren, so...
Okay, so I bring Declan back to him and said, okay, shall we go right away? Is time of the essence?
I would prefer to do it sooner rather than later. My farm is a half an hour's walk away. I hope that's alright.
I think we've got time.
He says, Herman, you're welcome to come and join. You know, you're an old friend. We can host you for a bit if you need. And Herman just downs his drink and he's like, let's go.
Yeah, I would stand up as well, and I will say to Dawn, would you be alright just keeping Danny a little bit company here? Alright, thank you, bye.
Oh,
okay,
God.
thanks, bye.
Wow.
Eyebrow goes up.
Yeah, I suppose technically we are supposed to be guarding him, but...
Dawn is not with the group when they're discussing this, so if you're going to go alone, you can.
Well, where is Dawn right now?
Dawn is sort of midway between the two, keeping an eye on Daniel and the room in general.
Yeah, then I would, say it to him as we're walking out, passing you.
Hold down the fort.
How does Don react to that?
Has Dawn heard any of this conversation?
Well, if you were listening to Daniel, I'd made a point of talking loudly enough when I was talking to Declan that Daniel would have heard, so probably also so that you would hear.
What's your passive perception?
14.
Yeah, let's say you heard it. It's a small tavern, you know, there's not many people, so...
Fair. And now, out of character, what are we going for, sorry?
This man has a son who disappeared and then came back, and now he needs healing. I can't remember what if we were given any details on the matter, but I mean, he asked about a cleric.
How late is it?
At this point, it's sunset is at 8:30, so it's 9, 10 right now.
Alright. How deep in his cups is Daniel?
Getting deeper by the second.
Alright, so he's probably okay. Besides, he needs us more for the way back rather than the way there.
It's true. And honestly, if he dies in this tavern right now...
There's not that great a loss, to be honest, is it?
Exactly. We've...
Makes our job so much easier.
And we already got 100 gold for getting him this far, so...
Alright, Dawn gestures to the barkeeps, keep Daniel topped up, and folds in with the group.
I just love how none of our characters give a shit about Daniel.
Because he's an asshole!
Yeah, exactly.
He's the worst!
I'm so happy I've managed to play a convincing asshole.
Yeah, I mean, it's impressive.
He is the
It's
worst.
out of character for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently I just have to say fucker a lot.
Yeah.
It's the attitude that comes behind it as well.
Chetcha's DMing tips. Right?
Right, so we head out. We agree, so we do it.
We agree, so we do it. The man leads you out of town. It's a half-hour walk. It's a warm night, and you can actually see the stars.
Is the path we're travelling wooded, or is it open?
In town, there's, dirt roads. I say town, it's, a small town, a big village. Sort of that kind of size.
And then once you get out of town, I imagine the roads turn more into just, rotted parts.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's lots of fields, and there's the forest nearby. The forest is still a few kilometers away from this, but,
As we're walking, Dawn asks, have you any idea where your son went? And what type of injury is it?
I'm not sure what the injury was. He came out of the forest, of the Manchetta forest, 3 days ago, stumbling, and he was pale and white as a ghost, and he could hardly move his arms, so he couldn't tell us what happened, and then as soon as he came home, he collapsed, and we haven't been able to wake him up since. You can roll me either Arcana or Medicine, but it's gonna be super high from just this description.
Right.
Dawn will roll Arcana. 10, so no.
Mm-mm.
I also got a 10 with a 6 plus 4.
No.
Tekla shrugs.
Did he have any visible injuries on him?
Not that I saw, but I'm not a medic, so I wouldn't know what to look for.
The bloody bit.
It's not that I saw.
Well, let's have a look-see.
Yeah, so the path leads west from the town, and eventually you'll reach the farm. It's a shabby-looking stone farmhouse, one of 2 large wooden barns. It's seen better days, but the ground is, fertile enough, and the family does reasonably well, you're thinking? There's barley growing, there's some wheat growing, and as you near the farm, you see they have, a pasture of sheep, so they're doing pretty well for themselves. And as you're walking, Herman is asking the man, whose name is Abram, he's asking him about his family, how's his wife, how are the other kids?
Dawn just listens to see if anything interesting pops up.
Yeah, and I was just it's been quite a good year for us so far, but then this happened. We told Doman, we told Adela, we even told Emilia not to go in the forest, and what did they do? They go into the forest. I mean, it's kids, they're not gonna listen, but the forest isn't safe. The forest has never been safe. And yet, I just hope they grow out of it. I hope this teaches them a lesson, and they just...
How are the rest of the children taking it? Does this reaffirm their fear of the forest? They might actually stay indoors now.
Well, I would hope so. But I don't know, they're very worried about their brother. Both girls are... They're more, They tend to listen more to what I have to say to them, but even so, Adela keeps... She accompanies her brother sometimes out to the forest, and I tell them both not to go, but... She wants to be cool, or whatever the kids call it these days.
An inquisitive mind is a great thing, sir. You should not dissuade your daughter of such things.
Well, there's a difference between being inquisitive and endangering yourself.
Is there anything special about this forest?
Well, the woods are old and dark, and I don't know There's a bunch of dangerous animals in them.
Like rabbits.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the dire rabbits will eat you if you fall down.
I know, it's the weasels you've got to look out for.
Anyway, you reach the house, the farm. Abram leads you in, and up the stairs to the upper floor where his son, Doman, is kept in a small bedroom.
How old is his son?
He looks in his young teens, early teens. He's blonde, he's super pale. Next to him, his mother is sitting, Abram's wife. She looks up as you enter, and she sees Herman, and she's like, "Oh, Herman, it's so good to see you." And she stands up and gives him a hug. And she looks to her husband and says, Who are these people?
Ah, madam, let me introduce ourselves. My name is Dawn, and these are my companions. We heard your husband's plight in the local watering hole and offered to help.
Oh, right. Abram, are you sure about this? They offered to help.
Well, we're here now. Let's get to it, shall we?
Yes, of course.
Dawn sort of rubs his hands together.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Dawn will say, my cleric is fueled by, wine?
Kasni nods.
She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't think we have any of that."
Oh, it's okay. I'm sure he'll be fine.
All right, then,
Thank you so much.
I will go put on some water,
Herman, maybe you could, assist her.
Yeah, sure, Lisa, let's go. They go down the stairs, and Abram stays with you.
Dawn steps back and gestures to the stricken child and goes, "Work your magic."
Right. What appears to be wrong with this child?
Well,
Roll the medicines.
Yeah, roll the medicines, but you've heard from his father that he sort of collapsed when he stumbled out of the forest, and he looks very pale, and if you look closer, his heart rate and breathing are super slow, and his skin is cold to the touch.
I'm checking him out a little bit. Is the boy's father still in the room?
Yeah.
How long did you say he's been like this?
3 days now.
Goodness. Right, okay. Kasni sort of opens his eyes and checks his pupils and things and does the sort of general checks. I'm personally very tempted to do that thing where you lift the person's arm above their face and then drop it to see if they're faking it, but I don't think Kasni will do that.
You can. What did you roll? It's a medicine check.
The medicine check was, sadly, it was only a 12. It's not the worst, but I'm not sure that that's enough. I didn't roll well.
No, he seems to be in some sort of deep sleep, but you can't really tell about what happened. Yeah, you're checking him over really closely, and you lift his hand to drop it, and you notice, like, a bruised pinprick on his left hand.
I don't drop his hand. Instead, I inspect the pinprick closer.
Mm-hmm.
Does it look like a insect bite or something, or like a sting from something?
Roll me a medicine again, because this is checking for, like, a different thing now.
Oh, natural 20.
Yikes.
I've obviously seen this before.
Yeah, you have, but not in this context. This comes from a needle.
Oh, interesting. So, do I think he might have been drugged, or maybe he was taking drugs?
It's on the palm of his hand, so that's...
Not a normal place for somebody to self-inject.
No.
Okay.
More likely he tried to pick something up
Yeah.
and got spiked.
Or somebody tried to attack him with it and he, instinctively put his hands out to stop them. I'll draw attention to the wound. I say this looks remarkably like an injection site. Looks like somebody has injected him. It's a very strange place to do so, though. So
injection.
Somebody's used a needle to.
He's been drugged.
Yes, to drug him.
Ha.
Dawn has a look at the palm.
I mean, it's possible that maybe he found a needle and accidentally picked it up, in a pile of leaves or something. It's the wrong time of year for leaves. But,
Does it have to be a needle? Could it not be a stinger from some sort of insect or animal?
It could be, but the look of it, it does look much more like an injection than normally. Normally, most stings have a sort of raised, and I sort of put my finger across it and feel, is it sort of flat?
Yeah, no, it's like...
Most stings sort of irritate on the surface. Usually there's a raised part. This one seems to be more like an injection. I mean, I can't completely rule that out, but I think the most likely options are that he encountered a needle in the woods in some way, either by accident or was trying to defend against somebody who was using it against him. This seems most likely.
The father is just leaning against the wall, kind of catching his breath, like trying to piece this together, like somebody drugged his kid.
Knowing now that he's been drugged, can I have another look over him to see if I recognise what drug might have done this?
Sure, yeah. Roll me wisdom.
Oh, no. If it's a straight wisdom check, that's a 7.
No, it's a medicine, sorry.
That's still a straight wisdom check, because I do not have proficiency in medicine. So that's 7.
Dawn will also roll medicine, if that's okay.
Yeah. Like, any and all of you can roll medicine if you want.
15 plus 2, 17.
Like, whoever wants to roll medicine can roll medicine, like, now that Casney's the one examining it, but if he's shared the findings with you...
I mean, when I looked into his eyes, I would have mentioned if his pupils were particularly large or small.
I got a total of 19.
Yeah, his eyes didn't seem anything too weird about them. Like, not really bloodshot or...
Is he warm or cold?
No, he's cold. If you check his heartbeat, it's very slow, and he's breathing very slow, and...
Have they wrapped him up in blankets and things, and he's still cold?
I mean, he's just not, like, really wrapped in the thing, but just, there's an extra blanket on him. Like, you're thinking they probably don't have a bunch of blankets?
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
It looks to me like he's under some sort of narcotic effect.
Well, Decla rolled a 19.
Yeah, Decla, you actually remember something from back at the temple where you were half paying attention to the lesson, something about a magical... a potion that can put people to sleep.
Do I know anything, like, what it's called or anything?
No.
Could be, like, some kind of sleeping potion. If so, I've no idea how you would cure that.
I mean, potions will run their course, won't they? They are temporary.
Usually. But, it all depends. This boy doesn't look very well at all. If he keeps declining, that could be problematic.
Dawn turns to the father and goes, has he, to your opinion, declined in the past 3 days, or has he stayed the same since he collapsed?
No, he's been he's been pretty much the same, you know. He collapsed and that was it. He's been like this ever since.
Okay, because I'm not aware that Dawn has any spells at this point, but I do know that both Declan and Darren have. I'm going to look to them both and say, do either of you have anything that cures poisons or diseases?
Unfortunately.
Ooh, actually.
Oh, I mean, I have the hangover kit.
I have a herbalism kit.
Do you think acid splash would help?
No!
Well, I mean, I have a herbalism kit. I have the spell resistance, which grants a bonus to a saving throw, so if that would help, that's possible. And I also have protection from evil and good, which would work in some circumstances.
I can instantaneously clean his brain?
Yes, do that. No, flavor his brain like chocolate.
Roll me, all of you roll me intelligence.
I have healing word and prayer of healing today. I do not intelligence. That was a 6.
I got a 15.
I have a -1 intelligence, so I rolled a 6.
7.
Oh, we dumb. Even
Am I the highest with a 15?
I don't like it.
Welcome to the dumb party.
Yeah, Darren, like, you know, you have some friends in the city who you talk to sometimes, and, you know that as far as, like, these magical effects go, it usually takes, like, something of a... I don't know how to flavor it, but basically you need a remove curse spell.
Yeah, I didn't think my prayer of healing would work.
I think what we need to do here is remove a curse.
While you were in the city, like, yeah, some of your friends had some magical accidents a while ago and some experimentation with some potions, and they needed an antidote or a remove curse. So
I've seen people in similar situations before, and what we usually did was we went down to the temple. I had a friend there who would remove curses for a small donation, and I think this would help. Unfortunately, I'm not equipped to handle this.
There's a church in the place we are, isn't there?
Yes, but I'm afraid Mara is only a priest. She's not an ordained cleric.
Yeah, I don't think my hangover cure will work on this. I mean, it might, but whilst I am fairly confident it won't do anything, I am going to cast just a level 1 healing word to see if it makes him look like he is less ill. I'm very, very sure that it will not wake him up, but it might make him more comfortable or seem to be less injured. So I am going to cast that just at level 1 because just on the off chance we end up into...
Dawn holds up a finger before Cassie does that and goes, "Can you give me 1 second?"
Okay.
Dawn is going to check the rest of the boy. What he's looking for mostly is defensive wounds. Anything around his ankles, knees to show he's been running away from something. Anything sort of where he's fallen or if he's been restricted in some way.
Does he have a tail?
And there's not really much. I mean, there are a few, like, scratches on him that if he was in the forest, he probably acquired them, you know, just crawling through the bushes or stuff.
Right.
But nothing that seems, like, really, offensive or...
Yeah, nothing, like, very obvious or stark. Yeah.
He has, like, an old scar on his knee, but...
Right, okay, so yeah, I'm going to cast Healing Word just at level 1 because, for a start, this kid probably doesn't have a lot of hit points anyway. But I'm not expecting it to cure him, but I'm hoping it might make him more comfortable, and certainly it will heal. It should help heal up the scratches. Okay, so he is healed for 6.
Yeah, a slight glow envelops him, but there doesn't seem to be a change after that.
Well, his scratch is at least healed up.
Yeah.
And his little puncture mark on his hand.
The puncture mark is also healed, yeah.
I turn to his father and I'll say, I'm sorry, there's nothing else I can particularly do right now, but I hope that will have made him a little more comfortable.
Right, maybe... I don't know, maybe if I knew what happened, maybe if I knew where that happened, maybe...
How much do you know about the forest? Do you know of the wildlife in there?
Oof, yeah, it's a big and scary wildlife. I once once saw a snake that was as long as my arm, and I also heard from a hunter that there's owlbears in that forest.
I mean, I feel like your son would be in a lot worse condition if he encountered something like that. The fact that it's a small sting makes me think of a spider or a snake, or, like I said, some sort of trap that he set off.
It could be a trap.
Maybe Adela knows something, like the two of them were always going there. Maybe she's heard something. Maybe she knows something. Maybe she knows where he went.
Where is she right now?
Asleep. She's asleep. I could wake her up.
Well, I would suggest you do it rather than one of us. Might be a bit disconcerting.
I mean, he's not getting any worse. We could leave it till tomorrow.
I also then realised that in character Dawn hasn't slept in like a very long time as he was busy last night.
Can Kazni take Remove Curse as a spell, or...?
I don't know. I don't know what level that is.
I think you have to be 5th level.
Yeah, you have to be 5th level.
Oh, okay.
Protection from poison you would have, but...
Yes, protection from poison, but I feel like that has to be preemptive, though. Oh no, if poison, you neutralise the poison. Would that work? I'm going to take it tomorrow anyway. If we just roll back time to when if the man was about to leave to go wake up the other one, I'd say no. I would probably leave it for now. I don't feel that he's going to get any worse overnight, so it would be cruel to wake. Did he say it was a girl?
Yeah.
It would be cruel to wake your daughter up now when we could just as easily do this tomorrow in the morning when she's well rested. You know, this is an emotional situation, and being overly tired isn't going to be very good for it. So, I mean, we can perhaps return in the morning. We have somewhere to be, something to do, but, I mean, honestly, we can delay it, that guy.
I mean, if you need, you can stay here. We can only offer to...
It's fine, I'm sure. You're only half an hour away. We'll make our way over here first things in the morning.
Kazni, Declan and Darren have all definitely slept in worse places, but I don't know what Dawn's going to think about this.
Well, if you want to, you can sleep in the barn. I'm afraid I can't offer you anything better.
A very, very slight shudder goes through Dawn when he says that.
Dawn, dear, you can return to a proper tavern if you wish, but I might stay here.
Someone better look after Daniel anyway.
You know what, that's actually quite a good point, because he might refuse to pay us if we don't appear to be doing our job. So you can go back, sleep in the comfort of a tavern bed, and keep an eye on him, and we'll just stay here. Honestly, I don't know about the others, but I've certainly slept in worse places. I'm sure I'll be fine.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, definitely.
That's not something to be proud of, Kazni. And then Dawn looks between Kazni and Darren and goes, "Don't get into too much trouble while I'm gone." And Dawn leaves and goes back to town.
What is he implying?
I don't know. Honestly, I think he's more likely to get into trouble than I am. I pointedly don't say than you. Yeah, on the scale of who's getting in trouble first, it's Dawn and Kazni are sort of roughly tied, but then above them is Darren, and below them, way, way below them, Declan.
Yeah, I don't think Decla's even on the scale.
Decla's there bailing us out at the end of it.
Decla, Darren, and Kazni stay at the farm. You fall asleep in a pile of hay. The second night in a row for Darren.
But this time he's respectfully keeping his distance.
And all clothes on. Possibly.
Yeah. Unless, of course, anyone wants to cuddle.
You better be keeping all your clothes on.
And Dawn goes back to the tavern. And that's where we'll pick up next time. Dice Out Now Game is a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons actual play podcast. Our intro and outro music is Bells by Fake Cats Project. If you want to get in touch with us, you can find us at Dice Out Now Game on Twitter, where you will also find links to our personal accounts. If you can, please rate and review our podcast, and tell your friends about us. Now, game!
All available officers. Mulligan Avenue Southwest. Suspect unknown at this time. Owner is in distress.
In other news, reports of a missing child in the town of Hillcrest. There have been varying accounts of what may have happened to 12-year-old boy Jack Fern. One report claims that the boy may have been attacked by an alligator. This story comes from...
There's been another bat squat signing in Hillcrest. Telling you folks, something weird is going on in that town. I'm gonna get to the bottom of it.
Dungeons Deep RPGs presents an actual play podcast of the Kids on Bikes tabletop role-playing game. In the sleepy town of Hillcrest, a string of child disappearances brings together a group of kids into an unlikely friendship and leads them on a perilous investigation into the unknown that none of them will soon forget. You can listen on your favorite podcatcher by searching for Dungeons Deep RPGs. May your dice be blessed, and we'll see you soon.